Whoa, did you hear that?
After I received the knock, the van next to me kept
Buraya sanki görüyorum onun gözleri mi şu?
Just heard walking back in there.
Echoes call from hollow halls, a voice that creeps and softly crawls. Time stands still, the air is
Metal detecting in remote corners of Alaska isn't something most people would do alone, especially not in fading daylight. But for YouTuber Keithy6, who runs the channel Metal Detecting in Alaska, it's just another evening. In this video, he heads back to an old mining spot where he previously found a vintage pickaxe, hoping to squeeze in a quick hunt before the sun disappears behind the tree line.
Oh, hey guys, Keithy6 here, Metal Detecting in Alaska. I'm back out this evening to that same mining spot that I was at last time where I found the pick. So I have about an hour and a half before dark. So let's see what we can find in that time. I brought my bounty hunter, Time Ranger Pro, and my little probe. So we'll walk around and see what we can find. Well, I decided to stop by this hole on the way through and probed around a little bit, and I hit some glass. And I found a broken cork top and a real small broken cork top. And I just got lucky, and where is it? I just hit what looks like a glass stopper. So hey, that's cool. It's better than nothing. I think this hole needs dug out to get down deeper, because my probe only reaches so far. Alright, sweet. Little bit of glass on the way through. Let's keep going.
With only about an hour and a half to work with, he takes his Bounty Hunter Time Ranger Pro and starts sweeping the ground. Early finds are small but promising. Broken glass, old corktop bottles, and eventually a full glass stopper from what looks like an antique Worcestershire sauce bottle.
Well, my first target looks like it's just a more modern penny. Well, next target looks like a part to an old lantern. Just found a little, looks like maybe a 22 bullet. Somebody must have been hunting out here. I've got a big iron target here, so I'm curious to see what it is. Is it a pick? Oh, oh, check that out. Double-edged axe. Sweet. Wow. I knew it was going to be something big because it just blew my ears off. It was a huge iron target. Wow. Sweet. That is awesome. Man, I can't believe it. Another good target with the Bounty Hunter Time Ranger Pro. Wow.
As Keithy moves from one target to another, the finds begin to pick up. A rusted lantern top, a .22 bullet casing, and then a significant find, a double-bladed axe head, large, heavy, and unmistakably old, likely dating back to the gold rush. But as the forest begins to dim, something around Keithy starts to shift.
Old box. And of course, I gotta find some nails. Well, my next target's some kind of lid. I'm thinking like to a salt or pepper shaker because it has all these little holes. Cool find. I just found this opening key where you unroll like a sardine can or whatever. I just dug up another trap. Well, it's getting dark on me. Down to my last target. Looks like a little wood, or what's that? Whoa, did you guys hear that? It sounded like something howling. Still hear it.
He keeps detecting as the woods grow darker, down to what he says will be his final few targets. Then, just as he's about to call it a night, something happens. A sound, sudden, guttural, comes from deeper in the woods. A howl, sharp and unplaceable. He freezes. Another noise follows. A splash in the water, startling and close.
Boy, that freaked me out. Ugh. All right, so I'm working my way back. Whoa, did you hear that? Oh man, something just threw something in the water right beside me. Oh, jeez. All right, guys, let's get out of here. I just threw something else in the water just now. All right, I'm finally getting close to the road. Whew, that scared the crap out of me. Let's get back to the house and get ready for the roundup.
He decides not to wait and find out what it is. With adrenaline clearly building, he grabs his gear and begins heading back toward the road, the camera catching only glimpses of the dim trail behind him. By the time he makes it to his vehicle, he's clearly shaken.
Well, hey guys, welcome to my roundup. Here's everything I found tonight on that short evening hunt. And boy, was it a spooky walk coming out of the woods. My best target for this evening was this double-bladed axe head. I love finding these things. Just think somebody was chopping wood or building something with this during the gold rush. I'd love to put a new handle on it and restore it. That'd be really cool. And then I found the top to an old lantern. And then I found an old tin. I think this was probably an old tobacco tin. I found the key to the top of another can that you would crank to open it, like maybe a sardine can. I did find a lot of old disintegrated cans, didn't bring all that home.
During the roundup, he displays all his finds from the evening, the axe, the vintage tins, the broken glass, but it's clear that his mind is still back in the woods, replaying whatever it was he heard. He doesn't try to exaggerate the experience or dramatize it. He simply says it was a spooky walkout and that the sounds he heard didn't feel like anything natural. In a state like Alaska, wildlife encounters are part of the risk. Bears, moose, even wolves. But Keithy has done this long enough to know what those animals sound like, and what he heard that evening didn't match anything on that list. The video closes with the usual sign-off, a wish of good luck and happy hunting to his viewers. But underneath that, there's something left open, a moment that doesn't get explained. What did you make of this encounter? Let me know. Before we go any further, I just want to ask you for a small favor. If you're enjoying the video so far, please give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. We recently hit 100,000 subscribers, and that's all thanks to you. Our 100K special surprise was revealed, and we had many positive responses from you. Our next goal is to hit 200K before the year ends. It feels impossible, but hey, it's free to dream, right? Also, there's a hidden word somewhere in this video for you. Let's see if you can find it. Now, back to the video. Brendan, the creator behind Brendan Explores, is known for his light-hearted and authentic takes on van life and stealth camping across the UK. On September 26, 2023, what began as a peaceful, almost idyllic trip through the Shropshire countryside took a sudden turn in the early morning hours. The video opens with Brendan waking up after a surprisingly silent night in his camper van.
That has to be the most peaceful night's sleep I've had in the van yet. There wasn't a wink of a sound last night. I can just hear the birds tweeting this morning. There wasn't a squirrel scurrying in the night. It was absolutely dead silent. I haven't been anywhere in Shropshire where it's been that quiet. No one pulled into the car park last night, as I suspected they may, as it's a weekend. Maybe they had their fun last weekend, possibly. One thing I've noticed about sleeping positions in a camper van, if the van is ever so slightly tilted towards the front, I sleep a lot better. When there's a little bit less blood flow going to my head, and I'm just on a slight tilt, like I am here, very slight, I wake up with a fresh head, and I don't feel groggy in the morning. If I'm kind of leaning towards my head area, I feel rough, but that was perfect. That was like the best night's sleep. I slept better last night in this van than I do in my own bed at home. Surprise, surprise. He's up. Of course he's up. He's been up. How long have you been up for now? 4 hours?
No. I woke about 6:30.
Yeah?
Yeah, 6:15, 6:30.
Sleep all right?
Reasonably.
Reasonably. How quiet was it here last night?
It's eerily quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, we did have a few cars turn up in the morning.
Yeah,
and we
like
had
dog walkers or
yeah,
something.
like dog walkers, not that kind of dog walkers. But yeah, we had a few dog walkers in the night, in the morning. And I noticed somebody with a horse had also stopped, and they just went round.
Did they really?
Yeah. So.
Oh, I must have been fast asleep.
He describes it as the most peaceful sleep he's had in the van to date. It was the kind of night van lifers dream of. Still, safe, and silent. Shortly after, his friend Maddie also wakes up, and the two joke about the quiet. Brendan even comments that not a single car pulled into the car park during the night. As they pack up and get ready for the day ahead, the plan is to head toward the Wye Valley, stopping at Croft Castle and a few other National Trust spots on the way.
So this is the first day of us heading down to the Wye Valley. Never been to the Wye Valley before. Have you been before? Leave a comment below, tell me your thoughts. We're going to make a little stop on the way, I think, around Leominster Croft Castle, which is a National Trust property. But now I'm looking forward to exploring the Wye Valley. Not quite sure where we're going to go yet. We're kind of playing this trip by ear. So yeah, join us for today as we go explore the Wye Valley.
There's plenty of friendly banter between the two as they navigate classic van life tasks. Throughout the day, the duo explores the Wye Valley before making their way to a secluded car park for the night. It's scenic, quiet, and tucked right beside a pricey campsite.
And just as I was hoping, the sun comes out to join us. This was the weather we were expecting. I was a little bit doubtful this morning when I saw the mist up at Bury Ditches, but no, we've got some nice clear blue skies. Well, a little bit of cloud, but we've got sunshine, that's the main thing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Croft Castle. What's your guess, mate? When do you reckon it was built? What does it look like?
Say 18th century.
18th century? I'm going to say older than that. I'm going to say 16th century. I could be making myself sound incredibly stupid there, but I think that's inevitable. One of the nice little things I saw on the way in was one of the signs said that photography is allowed, no flash. I was quite pleasantly surprised to see that. Most National Trust places are a little bit antsy when it comes to filming and photography. We've got an ice cream shop, I guess that's the benefit. Ah, that's the campsite. Where we're going is down here. Now, wouldn't that be cheeky to park right next to a campsite for free? I will show you what the van looks like now. It's all completely stealthed up. So as you can see, the lights are on, full whack in the back there. I'm going to close the door and I'll turn my light off, and you can just about see Little bits of light bleed through there. The lights are on full pelt in the back, and it is now pitch black outside. But really, you can't really see a huge amount going on, to be fair. Got a window open there for a little bit of airflow. But apart from that, we're all good. Right, let's get in and settle in for the night.
As night falls and the van is locked up tight, Brendan settles in for what he expects to be another quiet evening. But around 4 a.m., things change.
And what made things even worse was just after I received the knock, the van next to me came alive and drove off, leading me to think the Forestry Commission was moving people on. Thankfully, that wasn't the case.
You all right, mate?
Brendan is suddenly woken up by flashes of light and a knock on the van door. Half asleep and unsure what's going on, his immediate assumption is that it's someone from the Forestry Commission moving people on, possibly enforcing the no overnight parking sign nearby. The panic ramps up when he sees the van parked next to his suddenly start up and drive off. It looks like they've also been told to leave. Brendan is shaken.
I just wanted to give you an update before I officially signed off on this video. Crisis averted. My God, I genuinely thought that was someone from Forestry England or someone knocking on that door, waking people up, asking people to move on at 4 o'clock in the flipping morning. I then saw a van start moving outside, thinking, oh, they've had the knock and they've been told to move on as well. Thinking that might have been possibly a Forestry England van or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, it absolutely scared the living daylights out of me. It's none of those things. It was Matty. So Matty's now gone home. He didn't sleep very well, and what he could have done was ring me. That would have been good, Matty. So, Matt, if you're watching this video, you could have rang me first, mate, instead of knocking on the windows, or at least I had a missed call on the phone. I checked my phone just to see if it was him calling. He scared the absolute bejesus out of me. I did offer him to come and take my place in this van while I just go on my phone for a bit in his car, but no, he was adamant he wanted to go home. Do you know what? I understand that. When you get in that mindset, you just want your own bed and your home comforts.
The fear of being fined or forced to move in the dead of night is a real anxiety among stealth campers. He remains quiet, listening for any follow-up knock or voice, but eventually things calm down. In a voiceover shortly after, Brendan returns to explain the situation and delivers a twist no one expected. It wasn't the Forestry Commission, it wasn't law enforcement, it was Matty. Brendan explains that Matty, unable to sleep, decided to call it a night and head home, but instead of calling or messaging first, he knocked on Brendan's van to let him know, unknowingly scaring the absolute life out of him. In his own words, Brendan says Matty could have just sent a text or made a call, anything other than a 4 a.m. knock on a dark van in the woods, but Matty, feeling restless and uncomfortable, made the decision to head back home. It wasn't a ghost, it wasn't a stranger, it was just Matty. But at 4 a.m., in a quiet forest car park, that's more than enough to rattle anyone. On an otherwise calm evening deep in the Turkish countryside, Ugur Halilolu and his partner Sezen settled in for another night of their camper van adventure. The air was warm, with nothing but forests and distant hills surrounding them. Their plan for the night was to relax, enjoy some grilled food, and watch a movie on a portable cinema screen they'd brought along. As the evening progressed, the couple shared light banter while preparing food over an open flame. Despite a few missteps with falling mushrooms and a bit of smoke, their camaraderie painted a charming picture of peaceful van life. But the peace didn't last.
Senden bir tavla atalım mı?
Tavla mı?
Ha.
Olur.
Hava da güzel, şöyle karşılıklı. Hadi bakalım.
Kız tavlası mı?
Sen hangisini biliyorsan fark etmez. Ver çuvalda.
Uğur. Böyle çok güneşin altında kalamayız. Tenteyi açalım.
Açayım ha. Düğmeye bassana. Tenten düğmesine. Aşağıya. Aşağıya. Bas. İyi de aşkım. Güneş oradan vuruyor. Tenteyi aç. Güneş orada. Tente bize ne fayda edecek? Gel gel. Biraz D vitamini iyidir. Güneşte duralım. Gel. Bas bir daha. Hadi neyse açtık bari. Bir daha bas. Tamam. Su pompası açık mı? Şu an üstün bir zeka örneği gösterdik aşkım gerçekten. Hadi yemek malzemeleri hazır.
Hayır. Hayır. Hayır.
Öyle.
Hayır.
Hadi aşkım hadi. Sen yemek malzemelerini hazırla da ben ateşi yapayım. Mangalı.
Shortly after sunset, as night fell, Sezin suddenly heard something, a faint but unfamiliar noise coming from the nearby trees. At first it was written off as the sound of birds or wind, but soon both Ugur and Sezin heard it again, this time clearer, deliberate, strange, and close.
Uğur bir şey.
Koş koş koş koş koş.
Uğur aç kapıyı.
Geç kararım.
Geç geç geç geç geç. Duydun değil mi?
Duydum dur.
Uğur çok korkuyorum.
Kimsin?
Uğur uzaklaşma.
Ses ver. Duyuyorum seni. Ses ver.
Uğur içeri gel. Uğur içeri gel lütfen.
Hop! Hey!
Uğur buraya gel buraya. Sanki görüyorum onun gözleri mi şu?
Nerede?
Karşıda.
Nerede? Sağ, sol de.
Bir dakika. Sağ. Uğur.
Nerede?
Evet o bu şu an baktığın yer doğruydu.
Yok aşkım orada bir şey.
Elim ayağım titriyor.
Their conversation halted as Sezin's tone shifted from playful to visibly nervous. She insisted she saw something, eyes possibly reflecting from the tree line, watching them from just beyond the reach of their lights. Panic set in quickly. Sezin called out to Ugur to come inside the camper.
Uğur lütfen içeri gel.
Tamam toplayayım şuraya da geleyim aşkım.
Yaklaşıyor gibi Uğur.
Yok aşkım be. Kaçtı o. Neyse. Sen daha dışarıda oturmazsın değil mi şimdi?
Asla.
He?
Asla.
O zaman sinema perdesi işi yalan oldu.
Abandoning their setup outside. The plan to watch a movie under the stars was scrapped. Instead, they locked themselves inside, attempting to piece together what had just happened. From the safety of the van, they tried to reassure each other, but they both felt unease.
Sence?
Kapılar kilitledi mi ya en iyisi? Her yeri kilitledi mi?
Aşkım hayvan ne yapacak? Gelip
Ya o...
Kap-
Var.
ne yapıyor?
Kapıyı açan var.
Aha.
Tabii.
Kapıyı açacak oradan girecek gece içeriye.
Girme ihtimali var.
Kitledim aşkım hepsini kitledim rahat ol.
Kaldı ki vallahi bir şey söyleyeyim mi? Hayvandan daha çok insandan korkacaksın da neyse.
Yani. Sence neydi?
Bilmiyorum. Ben güçlü ayak sesi duydum.
Aha.
In the morning, still haunted by the night's events, they tried to rationalize what had happened. They discussed the strange call, which sounded like a crow but didn't quite match. They laughed nervously, trying to regain some emotional distance from the fear. But both admitted, whatever it was, it hadn't felt natural. More importantly, it had seemed aware of them. Regardless, the previous night's fear had left its mark. Their trip had been interrupted, not by wild animals or bad weather, but by an unseen presence that intruded upon their sense of safety. As seasoned campers and travelers, They were no strangers to the outdoors, but this experience had rattled them in a way that seemed to go beyond logic. Like always, I'll let you draw your own conclusions from this encounter as well. Posted to YouTube on June 20th, 2025, this video from Happy Little Camper begins as many of their outdoor trips do, with peaceful countryside views, calm skies, and the simple joys of wild camping in the UK. This time, the trip features a duo, the YouTuber and his wife, settling into a quiet spot using a basic tarp and tent setup. The sun is shining, the breeze is light, and the couple is in high spirits as they cook up military MREs on a small Trangia-style micro stove. The early part of the day unfolds slowly. There's no rush, just moments of stillness, food preparation, and appreciation for the quiet stretch of countryside around them. Their goal isn't anything extreme, no hiking to summits or building shelters from scratch, just an honest overnight wild camp in nature. But this trip takes a hard turn. As afternoon bleeds into early evening, the skies begin to shift. Clouds gather fast, and the wind that was once soft becomes erratic and sharp. The temperature drops slightly, and there's a tension in the air that's hard to ignore. Still, they remain calm, assuming it's just a brief summer storm rolling in. But by sunset, it becomes clear that this is no passing squall. The wind roars through the valley, and flashes begin lighting up the sky. What begins as scattered lightning quickly intensifies into a full-blown storm. The video captures the moment when it hits. Deafening cracks of thunder, relentless flashes, and the unmistakable rhythm of rain hammering the tent canvas. They find themselves stuck inside their small tarp shelter with no option but to ride it out. For over 3 hours, the storm doesn't let up. Later reports confirm that more than 30,000 lightning strikes hit the UK that night, Friday the 13th of June 2025. The coincidence isn't lost on them. With only thin nylon and tarp between them and the storm, the mood shifts from playful to tense. The fear is unspoken but visible. By morning, the storm finally fades, the tent held, and they're safe. But the experience leaves a lasting impression, not just for its intensity, but for how quickly a calm day in nature can turn into a test of nerves and survival. Before we get into this next one, it's worth mentioning that the footage you're about to hear about was actually sent to us directly by the YouTuber himself, Ethan Towers. You might recognize his name. One of his older clips was featured in a previous episode, but this time Ethan reached out personally with what he believes is one of his most chilling investigations yet, and honestly, after going through it, it's hard to disagree. This one takes place at the King George Inn, a former jailhouse in Ontario, Canada, which has now been converted into a hotel. But despite the fresh paint and modern bedding, the energy inside this place feels anything but new. According to Ethan, this wasn't just a ghost hunt. This felt like something was ready to do something to them. The team arrives just before sunset, and from the very beginning, things feel off.
We're a minute away. We're just gonna be pulling in a second.
Your destination
Punch, no
is
punch
on the
back.
right.
Oh, there it is.
That kind of does look scary. Yeah.
Bro, with the vines on it. Yo. Constructed in 1906, the Coburg Jail, now known as the King George Inn, was one of the biggest jails of its time, holding over 100 people. So this would have been like the courtyard for the prison, or jail, sorry. These were like walls. So this was, I think she said, where the women's like area was. Over here we even got like some of the signs of places that have been here.
Oh, what's over there? That's a gym wall. I mean, not a gym. That's a prison yard.
Yeah, this is the prison yard.
The building itself dates back to 1906 and once held over 100 inmates. Some of them died behind its cold steel bars, some violently. There's even talk of executions taking place here, and one of Canada's most infamous killers, Paul Bernardo, is said to have been held at the site briefly. As the team is getting ready to unload, something completely unexpected happens.
So this door actually used to be the solitary confinement room. So that's where like the bad people would go, and if you misbehave here, you'd get tossed in there.
So you're gonna go in there?
I heard a knock from in there.
Actually?
I swear to God. Was it from me? No, the door doesn't move. I swear to God, I heard a knock in there. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Bernardo.
Oh, other names: Wayne Bodden.
Well, I'm gonna take
John
a picture.
Martin
I'm gonna take
Crawford.
a picture and see if maybe we can contact them later.
Charged with first-degree murders of 26 women. Allegedly confessed to 49 murders.
Yeah, so this like place holds a lot of bad negative energy. That's why I want to kind of find out if he like created anything. That's like an old picture of
The gun up there.
They did executions here too.
From the sealed solitary confinement room, a loud knock echoes out. There's no way in. The room is locked. Nobody's inside. But something made noise. That moment sets the tone for the rest of the night. As they move through the facility, you get a sense of how much of the old prison still remains. Bars on windows, narrow concrete halls, the original mess hall, and even the nurse's station, all still intact. It's these areas, Ethan says, that have some of the strongest energy. And he wasn't wrong.
It was later purchased in 1999 by the County of Northumberland, who acted under the provincial government of Ontario to operate the building as a correctional center. Now it has been turned into the hotel that we know it as, the King George Inn. The hotel has over 20 rooms, and 3 of them, including one we're staying in, still has all the original bars from the jail cells in it. So this is the room. It's a little small, but it was because it was a jail cell. It's not meant to be big, but it's got all the original bars. The bathroom, like, it doesn't even have a door. It's a curtain because it's bars. This would have been probably like the sleeping area. Like, that's where you would get locked into sleep. And there's Jacob. He's our prisoner. We're gonna have fun with him later.
Oh.
And throughout the whole hotel, there's all these different bars and gates and stuff. And in the basement, they have the old eating area and a museum where they actually still have the visitors area and a cell that still looks like how it would have when the jail was operating. And they still have 2 of the solitary confinement rooms down there. Now, I wasn't able to find the number of the amount of prisoners that have died here, but it is confirmed that there was deaths here. It's like an old picture of...
The gun up there.
They did executions here, too. I don't know if I mentioned, but they did executions here.
Throughout the night, the team captures numerous unexplained knocks from around the building, with major activity taking place between the 22 and 26-minute mark. At one point, the EMF detector begins spiking uncontrollably, and despite multiple changes in location, the energy just follows them. The climax of the investigation happens over an hour into the footage.
Now we're going to get into the paranormal side of this place. This spot is the museum. I'm very excited to go in here because it has a lot of the history from the place. Like, this used to be the visitor center, like you can see here. What is this? Piece of bulletproof glass that would have been there. Oh my God.
Really?
That's like 2 inches thick. Yeah, this here.
This would be like the medical assistant.
Medical, yeah. Just has some information, the difference between jails and prisons.
Stop focusing.
Maybe we can go in here and maybe use this bed as like a trigger object, like lay in it and do the Estes method.
I kind of feel weird in here.
Yeah.
It's also not focusing.
There could have, since this is the medical area, there could have been deaths like in this room.
Whoa, that controls that's like the control.
Oh yeah, this is
panel.
all the cell controls, women's yard. This is the eating area. From my research and watching other investigations, this area seems to have most of the activity. Now it is directly next to the solitary confinement. That could be why. And they actually do have a original security guard uniform from here, which is really neat. Right guys, so it is currently 12:05 p.m. a.m. I mean. And we're gonna start our investigation. So over here I got all my equipment. And what I have in my hand here is called the EMF. If you just put your energy into it, it'll spike up, like just like that. Thank you. Can you stop? His stomach, what's that? Oh my god.
While conducting a session in the old nurse's room, a place believed to be a hotspot for past deaths, the team suddenly hears footsteps. Clear, deliberate footsteps coming directly towards them, but no one is there. Just a moment later, there's a violent bang on the door, and again, no explanation. This isn't just coincidence or overactive imagination. The equipment is reacting.
We got told there was something negative down here trying to get us. Are you here?
I won't.
You won't get us? Do you just want us to leave then? What are you?
Here?
Yeah, we know you're here. There was just a footstep out there.
I know, I heard it.
That was like a... Yeah, it was like sliding. Like feet sliding.
I'm kind of scared to go out there. My hands are actually... I'm scared.
Hey, what's the time at? Okay, he's at 6 minutes. Why do you want us to leave so bad? It's still going on.
Oh,
Yo.
did we anger you?
Without?
So what? What are you talking about?
You?
He wants to be here without us. Can you just answer why you want us to leave so bad and then we'll leave?
Get out.
Just like that, over and over. We're not gonna leave unless you give us a clear sign. And explain to us why. Explain to us why.
The EMF spikes, flashlights flicker, the cat balls light up. Every time the team asks a question, something answers, whether it's through light, sound, or motion. Ethan mentions in his email that he's really put in the work since his earlier uploads. He's been doing more research, testing better methods, and treating these investigations with seriousness. And watching this footage, it shows there's a professionalism and a raw sincerity to how they treat the space. They're not provoking, they're not mocking, they're just trying to understand and share the experience. One of the more chilling parts of the video is when Ethan notes how two mirrors in their hotel room face one another, something some believe can create a spiritual vortex, a sort of gateway for paranormal energy to pass through. It's subtle, but once he points it out, you can't unsee it. And the timing, well, it lines up perfectly with the increase in activity.
So this place used to be jail. Oh, that's going up high. Okay, you're free to try out whichever you'd like. Are you seeing that? It's going kind of crazy. Can you stop it, please? Oh. Sorry. Flashlight's going off, so he's trying other things out. Can you turn the flashlight all the way on? You just gotta use a lot of your energy and tap it. Back to this. Did you pass away in this jail?
As the night winds down, there's a quiet moment where Ethan asks the spirit if they regret the things they did in life. And almost immediately, the EMF spikes. Strong, steady, like it's answering. It's not just about proving ghosts are real, it's about understanding what they are, who they were, and maybe why they're still here. Let us know what you all think. Was this a haunted night or something even darker? Uploaded just a few days ago by the channel Exploring with Bear, this chilling adventure unfolds in a place the YouTuber now refers to as Bigfoot territory, a remote stretch of wetlands that has left him shaken more than once. The video begins with him returning to the exact location where, just 2 nights earlier, he had attempted to film but turned back in fear. That night, before even setting foot on the trail, he had heard a massive crash in the woods and spotted a pair of glowing eyes watching him from the darkness. The fear was too much, and he aborted the mission. Now, in this new video, he's back, this time determined to push through.
Man, there are eyes back there. In a huge bang. I am too freaking scared, man. I was about to go back there, too. Look. Can you see those eyes? Yeah, no. Not tonight.
Today I've arrived with a little daylight left, which I thought was going to make it easier. But I was wrong. Because once the sun goes down, I become the haunted.
Whoop.
I just heard walking back in there. Oh, there's the eyes. What is that? There's a bunch of eyes.
There's 2 or 3 of them.
Just eyes staring at me.
Not long into the journey, strange things begin happening again. The eyes return, several of them. They're glowing from the same direction he saw them before, and now there are more. He stops, scans the trees with his light, and catches them blinking back at him, unmoving. Then a loud crash.
Down at the end of that, I was on that road, right there.
A huge crash happened, like right where I'm standing now. I pointed my flashlight down the trail, facing this way. And right in this area, there was a huge set of eyes standing. I could see it moving, too. I'm nervous now, though, because the sun's going down. I felt a lot better about 15 minutes ago when it was pretty daylight. Like, it looks a lot lighter on camera, maybe. No, you can tell it's getting dark.
Still determined to carry out the investigation, he sets up camp and begins performing tree knocks and Bigfoot calls. The results are immediate. Something responds.
Something's walking right back here. I just heard walking back in there. Man, it's so thick there you can't see nothing. You can't see right there, though. It is dark out. These woods are dark.
Footsteps in the brush, rustling movements, and again, those eyes. He's visibly shaken. Then, it escalates.
So just a minute ago, it was actually right back in here. Something was walking. Not far though. I didn't hear many steps. I thought I was going to hear more, and then it just quit. There's the eyes. What is that? There's a bunch of eyes. Where'd they go?
He realizes the movement has surrounded him. From one side, then the other. It's silent, deliberate. He states plainly that he no longer feels like he's being watched. He feels like he's being hunted. He spots the eyes again. This time, they're closer. They're moving with him. His flashlight begins malfunctioning. It won't stay on. He comments on how strange it is. The device was fully charged, but it's suddenly failing. In the darkness, he catches movement in the brush. Something small darts across the trail, but his focus remains on the larger presence, the eyes, and whatever is behind them. He presses on, trying to stay on the trail, but the darkness is complete now. He veers off path briefly and has to correct himself. Then, yet again, something is thrown.
Holy smokes. I just dropped the... Man, something just threw some. These eyes are still there. What just thumped from over here? My heart's freaking racing. My fire's out.
If you're still watching, comment the hidden word disturbing. His fire is now out, his camp is broken down, and the eyes continue to follow. With only one flashlight still barely working, he pushes forward, whispering to the audience about how unnerving it all is. By the end of the video, he admits outright, this is no longer just a spooky adventure. He believes he's being stalked. The experience, he says, felt like something out there was waiting for him to become vulnerable, to drop his guard, to panic, and that's exactly what nearly happened. He closes the video by saying that this area, once called the Wetlands, will now be known on his channel as Bigfoot Forest. After 2 disturbing visits, both ending in retreat and fear, the name fit. Whether what he encountered was Bigfoot, animals reacting strangely, or something else entirely, the effect it had on him is unmistakable. His fear wasn't acted, it was real, and this video captures it all. With this last encounter comes the end of another episode. If you haven't already, let me remind you again to like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment about what you liked and didn't like about this video. We almost upload daily videos, so you better have subscribed, cause trust me, you don't want to miss out. If you want to watch more disturbing videos, in about 3 seconds they will be on your screen. I'll see you there, and with that, I'm out.